Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting coin that's been getting a lot of attention online. You may have seen some people saying they have a 1969 10 new pence coin from the United Kingdom that's worth a crazy amount of money, like $15,000. That's right, $15,000 for one single coin. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? But is it really true? Is this coin really that valuable, or is it just a rumor? In this video, we're going to look at the full story behind the 1969 10 new pence coin. We'll talk about its history, what it looks like, why people think it's rare, and whether it's actually worth big money. Let's start with some background. The 10 new pence coin was part of a major change in the British currency system. Back in the late 1960s, the UK was preparing to switch from the old money system, called pounds, shillings, and pence, to a new system called decimal currency. This change officially happened in 1971, but new coins started being introduced a few years earlier to help people get used to them. The 10 new pence coin first appeared in 1968, followed by more coins in 1969 and beyond. These coins were designed to be easy to understand and use, with simple values like 5p, 10p, 50p, and so on. The 1969 10 new pence coin was one of the first decimal coins to be released. It was made of cupronickel, which is a mix of copper and nickel. It's silver in color and feels pretty heavy in the hand. In fact, the early 10 pence coins were quite large, almost the same size as the old 2-shilling coin. This was done on purpose to help people transition from the old coins to the new ones. The 10 new pence coin from 1969 has a very classic design. On one side, you see a portrait of Queen Elizabeth II wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. This portrait was done by Arnold Machin and it was used on British coins for many years. Around the edge, it says, Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1969, which is Latin and means, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. On the other side of the coin, there's an image of a crowned lion, walking with one paw raised and looking straight ahead. This is known as a lion passant gardant, and it's a symbol that has been used on British royal shields for centuries. Above the lion, it says, New Pence, and below it, the number 10, to show its value. It's a clean and traditional design, and many people who grew up in the UK remember using this coin in everyday life. Now here's where things get interesting. You may have seen online articles, social media posts, or even YouTube videos claiming that the 1969 10 new pence coin is extremely rare and worth thousands of dollars. Some people claim that this coin is worth $5,000, $10,000, or even $15,000. So, is that true? The answer is, probably not. At least, not in most cases. Let me explain why. The first thing to know is that the 1969 10 new pence coin is not rare. In fact, it's actually very common. According to official records, over 314 million of these coins were made in 1969. That's a huge number. When a coin is that common, it usually doesn't have a high value unless there's something really special about it, like a rare error or being in perfect, uncirculated condition. So the basic version of the coin, the one that millions of people had in their pockets, isn't valuable just because of the year. Most of these coins, even today, are worth around £1 or £2 in the UK, maybe a little more if they're in great shape. That's far from $15,000. So why are people saying it's worth so much? Well, one reason could be that someone posted it for sale on a website at a very high price, and other people copied it. Sometimes sellers on auction sites like eBay list coins at high prices just to see if someone bites. But that doesn't mean anyone actually bought it at that price. Just because someone asks for $15,000 doesn't mean the coin is worth that much. If you check sold listings instead of asking prices, you'll usually see that most 1969 10 new pence coins sell for just a few pounds. However, there are some exceptions. Every once in a while, a coin might have a minting error. That means something went wrong while the coin was being made. Maybe part of the design is missing. Maybe it's off-center. Maybe it has a double image or a strange mark. These types of errors are sometimes valuable because they're rare and interesting to collectors. But even then, it depends on the type of error and how noticeable it is. A small error might only make the coin worth £10 or £20 more. A very unusual error, like a coin struck on the wrong metal blank, might be worth a few £100s, but that's very rare. In the case of the 1969 10 new pence coin, there have been a few error coins found. For example, there's one version where part of the design under the Queen's neck looks like it's missing or shifted. Some auction sites have listed this kind of coin for around £30 to £50. Again, that's not nothing, but it's nowhere near $15,000. There was also a story about a 10p coin from 2008 that had a defective metal blank and was graded by a professional company. That coin was in amazing condition and had a true minting flaw, but even that one didn't sell for thousands. Another thing that can affect a coin's value is its condition. Collectors love coins that are in perfect, shiny, mint condition, especially if they've never been used or touched by human hands. These are called uncirculated coins, and they can be worth more than regular ones. But again, we're talking about small increases in value. A perfect 1969 10 new pence coin might sell for £5, maybe £10, depending on the buyer. Unless it has a super rare error and is in perfect condition, it's unlikely to be worth hundreds, let alone thousands. So what's the takeaway from all this? Well, first, it's important not to believe everything you see online. Just because someone claims a coin is rare or worth a fortune doesn't mean it's true. Always do your research. Look at real auction results, not just listings. Talk to coin experts or check websites that track coin values. And remember, each coin has its own market value, history, and design. That means just because one version of a coin is common doesn't mean all of them are. But it also means we should be careful not to overhype something that's just not that rare. Now, if you have a 1969 10 new pence coin at home, should you just throw it away? Definitely not. It's still a cool piece of history. It's part of the UK's decimal changeover, and many people remember using that exact coin when they were younger. Plus, coin collecting isn't always about making money. It's about enjoying the stories, the designs, and the history behind each piece. You might not get rich from it, but it's still fun to collect and learn about coins from the past. If you do think you found something unusual about your coin, like an error or a strange feature, there are ways to check. You can compare it to photos of regular coins online. You can visit a coin shop or show it to a collector. You can even send it to a professional grading service if you think it's something really special. Just be realistic about the chances. Most of the time, coins that look rare aren't as rare as people think. But every now and then, someone really does find a gem. So, to sum it all up, the 1969 10 new pence coin is a fun coin with a rich history and a classic design. It's not rare, and it's usually not worth a lot of money. Most of the rumors about it being worth $15,000 are just that, rumors. But that doesn't mean it isn't worth collecting. Each coin has its own story. Some are common, some are rare. Some are valuable, others just have sentimental value. And that's what makes collecting coins such an interesting hobby. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1969 10 new pence coin, please hit that like button and subscribe for more coin stories, tips, and deep dives into the world of numismatics. And if you've ever come across a strange or supposedly rare coin, tell us in the comments. Maybe we'll feature your coin in a future video. Until next time, happy collecting and keep checking your change, you never